Oh. All right. Well, today I was gonna wait until I just ground these. I gotta get water flow better to my grinder because it's causing these little nicks. I can see them now. They're just not perfect. I either damaged the head or something. We'll get it figured out. But um, I ultimately want to. I tinned this yesterday, which is the best tinning job I've done so far, and I want to put a bead on it, which I've tried to do before and I failed miserably. So I'm going to do a practice first. I'm going to get these copper foiled. I got these two pieces, and then I connect it to this one. I feel like having multiple seams will keep it level and help disperse the heat more. So we'll see if that's true, but I figured getting a couple beads ran before I tried on the real thing would be a good choice. We'll see how it goes. Ooh, just got myself a stool. I got tired of standing all day, but I'm not used to it yet. Step one, clean. That seems right. I got my little mist bottles finally. Little IPA in this one, isopropyl alcohol, and let's get ourselves a shop towel. I'd like to get some little cut up t-shirts, but I've not done that yet. So we will use this until we'll just do these one at a time. Nothing exciting. Oh yeah, that's the smell. Make sure we get the edges good. What really matters. Yeah, look at all that. Yeah, I think this residue is because that grinder isn't catching as much water as it should. Everybody always complains about their stuff tipping over. I just use these misters instead. For the most part, they stop me from being clumsy. I'm pretty good about it, but you know, accidents happen. All right, this one's clean. Let's leave this one here with that. And we're going to use the silver backed. I just got my black backed, but we're going to save that for a different project. Since this is just fun, we're just going to use the silver back. Get this lined up. We got about an inch in here. I'm going to try not to repeat inside out 5,000 times like I did last time. Started back there. Aggressive with my crimping. Lined up. Size it down. Looks right. Work it out. There we go. New words. And this start point had shifted a little bit, so I'm going to readjust that so it's even. That's even. Looking down one side. Trying to get it even on both sides. Looks right to me. Work it up to the point. Work it back. Crimp in the middle. How's that looking? Pretty good so far. I do feel like I'm starting to get better at this. It's one of those time and learning. I can't wait to take my first actual class with somebody and learn what I'm doing wrong. A little bit shallow on the backside. If these aren't perfectly 90 degrees, sometimes these long runs will not perfectly match up. I'm learning. Okay, we're going to grab the scissors. Got a beard hair in there. Cut that. Give it the triangle, which I actually kind of get now. It smooths out where it connects, so it should cause less exactoing. Come on now. There we go. Go this way so I can see it up, just to make sure we're lined up. Left side, right side, looking nice. Glass side, and then we'll start pinching the surface sides. Yeah, I like this little, oh. I like this little stool. It's one of these new wobbly stools. I'm just gonna pull this whole thing up, reline it. Thus, such is life. Well, let's get this whole thing off. I'll re-wipe down the surface now that my fingers have fully contaminated it. Let's go like this. Do this little snip. All my wasted copper. Do the same thing over here so we can finish off what we already ran. Smooth it out. Okay. Got the rest of our copper over here. Come on. I have that problem with tape where it folds in on itself. Alright. We're going this way. Let's do this. Cut a little V on this. Usually so hyped up on coffee at this point. I get to eat breakfast a lot, and I'm a little shaky in the mornings. It doesn't usually matter. There, we got that part. Feed this out now that I got a nice grip on it. A little shallow on the backside. That seems to be a common theme. There we go. I'm gonna start crimping this back here before I cut it, because I feel like I overdid it last time. Pulled some of it away. Get yourselves lined up. Not that much overlap. The solder doesn't fall through. Cut that side. Get this side, nice little point there. See if it lines up. Same thing, this back side's a little bit. I'm gonna keep my finger down here where I've already pressed it. And I haven't pressed this front part. Let's just make sure I don't take the tape off. Or the foil. I keep calling it tape. That's what it feels like to me. But it genuinely is foil. There we go. Nice and level. I think it's one of those practice how you play things. So if I want to get good at doing this, I need to practice getting these corners even and smooth and being as OCD as I can. Art's one of those few things in life that I feel like I can really control, even though I always try to listen to the piece and what it's doing and try not to fight it. Let's do the glass side first. Work our way out. Those control what you can control situations. Always amazed what happens when you really listen to it and let it do it at once. Work with its strengths. End up getting some pretty wonderful things. Gotta repair that little corner up there. That last leg was just a bit of a pain for me, wasn't it? I also find it interesting that once you've done something a few times, it calms down. You can see things that you were missing. Ooh, you come back down. Try to get that a little bit more of a scooch it in feel. And then we'll smooth it. Don't want this to fold on itself. Feels like I was a bit loose out here. Which is the point of doing this, to get it to warm up a little bit here and stick to the glass. That way, put this on silent. That way, you don't get any solder that runs underneath. Nice and shiny all the way up to my repair spot right here. Should I mark it? Yeah, why not? Flip her over. Start in the middle. There we go. Yeah, I've got this little edge right here that's rough because my grinder's not as smooth as it should be. It's definitely my bad. I'm gonna spend some time this afternoon trying to figure out how to get more water on it, because I think that's what the real problem is add more water, it would use it as a lubricant and it wouldn't be an issue. So I ground a lot of stuff on here when I was doing my first couple pieces. trying to figure out exactly. Man, that thing's chopped up too. The back side of that other one. At least I consistently screwed it up in the same spot. Okay, a little repair time and it should be good to go. Also, if y'all can see, this side is a little bit smaller than that other side, so I may need to patch from back here all the way up. We'll see. So with that in mind, let's grab a bigger piece. Let's do this first and then hit that corner last. This is the price of learning. You don't get it perfect. I can see I'm off on that. You don't get it perfect until you know what you're doing. And then when you know what you're doing, it's easy. That's what they tell me. So I am doing this so that I can have a consistent beat on both sides. I don't want to see solder through the back side. I had a bit of that issue with my first pieces when I was, there we go. Okay, where's our metal? About here. When I was grinding at 45, which is not correct, you should be grinding perfectly at a 90, where you can get as much of the glass together and create that barrier in between the glass side. Work our way out this way, work our way out that way. This may have actually resolved that corner issue too, it looks like. Nope. Just on this side. Was a mess. Glass side first. Start from the middle, flatten it out. It's so nice seeing these ripples get ironed out. Smoothed. Okay. Hopefully this is the last repair on this one. And we'll go over it with our X-Acto. To clean up our corners. Man, I don't like that. I mean, if you're gonna be OCD, right? Don't just like kind of sort of do it. And much to the same point, I was just expressing, you can be as nitpicky as you want or as laissez-faire. I think that's French for don't freaking care. But we're trying to learn and get better. So consistency does matter here for me. And I think the more I pick up on this stuff, the more I'm going to see, which is great. Line it up out here. Always shy towards the outside because you can always cut that little bit, but it's hard to patch it in without putting another piece. There's one corner. I'd already sealed this, but once I cut it, I'll do it again. It's much better. Start from the middle of the patch, work our way towards the corners. We've got this little divot here. I'm just going to take this in a little bit. That way I don't fight it, and it smooths it out. Smooth seems just as important as consistent edges. Pretty good. Why are you sticking up a little bit? There we go. Same over here. Side looks good. Right there. Yeah, this is just chunks that are taken out by my grinder. Unfortunate. Hopefully this is a practice piece, or probably scrap this because of that. Okay, they're going to pull it towards us. Start right where it goes, and then pull it away to work it out. The other day I had an issue where accidentally the blade caught and wiggled inside, and I had to repair the whole thing. Good. Good enough. I think we're good enough for what we're doing here. One down. Same thing with this one. Surface will wipe off. This is piece 3. Yeah, I can see this buildup on there. The white that's showing up on here, I could actually see it on the edge from the grinder not having enough water. So it's turning that into powder instead of keeping it liquid and gelling down. All right, I'm going to rewrite 3 on here really quick because I wiped it off. I realized the other one doesn't have a 4 on it anymore. But let's line it up this way just to make sure. Okay. Keep our stuff where we need it. All right, we wiped the edges. Got it relabeled. Let's start again. Touch the edges. Need those clean to get a good consistent. I'm actually going to run this a little deeper than I was before. The really good guys can do, I don't know, 1/2 inch or something, but I like being able to have a little more room. Line up down this side, look at the other side. Nope. Good start there for our base. What? Put it back inside that little gutter I had apparently. A little more pushy. Keep my finger there. That side, this side, looks good. Somebody pointed out that you should have about 1/32 on each side when you're using this 7/32 foil. Look at me starting to use lingo and stuff. Run it all the way out. or 1/32 on that side. Backs up a little shallow. Must be because I'm like lining it up a bit of this instead of straight up and down. Yep, still a little shallow. Undo it. A little bit more that way. Sure, I've explained a few times. My theory was that when I was starting out, nobody was doing, or I couldn't find easily anyways, because it's just not popular, videos, people doing this and trying to figure out what temperature they had their solder at, or they were running it through their soldering iron, what it actually looks like, how much time it takes, all that. It wasn't very easy because you only have these professionals who are amazing at what they do, and they make it all look really simple, really easy, and really fast, but it's not. This is all super time consuming and pretty detail oriented. Something I enjoy. Come on now. See, because I'm right-handed. She lined up down here. Now it's going the other way. Let's try to do this bottom half first. I actually watched a lady on Twitch the other day who was doing something similar to this. She said she's been doing it since she was like 10 years old. She's a teacher and married. She's was doing a commission piece for some flowers and stuff, and I got to watch her work on stuff, which was really nice. And per usual, like, this community of people are so nice. There's no way you can really think of each other as competition. It's one of the things I like about art. It's really you versus you, or you versus whatever it is you're working on. Fold this up a little bit. Give it that angle. And the other angle. Push that down. This side so I can see straight down. Looks pretty good to me. So we'll start here in the middle. Sure I'm not folding that. There we go. Nope, I folded it. Come on. There we go. You want to be a part of this. You're an important part of this. Redo it. Pinches look even. looking for this side and the other side to make sure they're lined up because I don't want a super thin side. Almost there. Working our way out. Some more pinches. There we go. That even meets in. Alright, we got it crimped, we'll call it, all the way around. Get our glass edge, start from the middle, smooth it out. There we go. Get out to the corners. Glass side is done. So we're on the surface side. Push all this out. There we go. That looks nice. A little fold trying to happen up here. Trying to encourage it to lay flat. Just call that a repair. I'm gonna mute this for a minute. Okay. I just got a little loud in here for a minute. Much better. A little bit of love. Should have started on the glass side first, huh? I'm just doing the same thing with these patches that I was with everything else. Working my way out. Sometimes it's hard to spot where the middle is on these, but it's definitely a thing. I spin this way, you got a little notch here. Start there and pull out as quickly as we can. And I can see that overlap there. See if that worked or if I just screwed that up. I haven't used an X-Acto knife this much in a long time. So much stuff I like about doing this expressing life, emotions, everything through the medium of glass. Feels a little more, I don't know, amazing. These are the things that have been followed through history. Probably something that has kept the masses half awake while they've been sitting in church, but telling stories. Capturing somebody's version of reality in a long-lasting medium. Pretty awesome. All right, this one was almost something I should have captured the other way. There you go. Oh, this is nice. So y'all probably can't see this, but when you press down across the middle, you can see how much is left on this side or that side. But you can see that all right. So it looks like it's really even to me. I've got just as much over here as I do over there. That was good lay. And we'll start middle. Everything's lining up. Get the pinches. Line straight up with what was there. That's a good sign thus far. Looks a lot better than it did before we started. Alright, it's in there pretty good. Start with the glass side. Let's see, we run down to here. So, work our way that way. Work our way that way. These edges are super delicate. You can easily like rip through that corner. So I try to let up a little bit and then focus on them when they need it. That way, back that way. Okay, I think that was our 2 repairs for this one. Give it once over, I want to X-Acto that spot. It's right where our tip ended. We'll line up with what was there. Work our way out as quickly as we can. Smooth. I don't see anything else on this side. A little bit right here. My own advice, start with the thin part, work it out as quickly as we can. Something over there too. Yep, that's the other side of that patch. Start where it lines up. Work it out. Corner up. All right. There's a couple little bubble divots in and out here. I'm not gonna. These are supposed to be warm-up solders, so I'm going to let them be what they're supposed to be. X-Acto knife face down. All right, let's give this one more clean. Get all this out of here. Goes out of the way. A little taproot into the garbage can. The more I'm doing this, the more I'm learning that keeping your surface space clean is pretty critical. I got myself a little brush. A piece of copper up there. Little brush pan. Take a couple seconds, keep it clean. We're done with this for right now. Should be ready to clean and then start fluxing and soldering. I did remember for the first time ever to wet my sponge before I started recording. That's 1 out of 100, not bad. All right, so we got 1, 2. Go through and clean this edge. It's sitting. We want to give the best chance of adherence as possible. The flux will really do the thing, but it gives me a chance to eyeball it, see what to expect. Grab piece 3, do the same thing, wipe down that edge, a little bit of overhang, get these lined up. Might have to hold this here while I tack. Would have been nice to have had the foresight to do all 3 at the same time, but it was not. So now we're dealing with this. All right. Get our soldering iron ready to go. This away from the cord. Plug in the soldering iron. Just take a minute. It's a clean tip from yesterday when I put it away. Just needs to heat up a little bit. So I don't need to, where's my 6040? 6040 is the Mastercraft. It's what came with my starter kit. I'm also going to put on gloves because I burnt myself a couple days ago. Didn't leave a scar or anything, but it hurt. Get our honeybee jar. I love reusing jars and stuff. I've been collecting them over years. These small little cups and stuff. I just learned that apparently people use cotton swabs to do this. That seemed crazy wasteful to me. Maybe it's not, but I like reusing. So this used to be about this long, and I cut it down so that I'm getting right on top of that. This is the perfect size, and I'm not getting flux all over everything else. It seems right to me. We'll see. I'm going to pay attention to potential defects that happen. Let's get this on. Fans on. I've got this where I want it. A little bit on here. Put this together. There we go. All right, this one start. Pretty much just tinning this a little bit to get it to bond. In a second, I'm gonna take my own advice and do piece 4 at the same time. I should have wiped this down first because I don't want to leave that soldering iron too long without solder on it and burn a hole in it. But we'll wipe these just down. Get this lined up. Okay. Same thing. Line them up right where I want them. A little bit of flux. That'll do ya. Good one. Run it out. Just a little bit. Same down here. Run it out. I think when I go to edge, I'm going to turn it on this heat a little bit. What am I? I think I'm at 410 right now. I'll turn down the next level and see how it goes. Yeah, like I said, when I tried this a little bit ago, it was just a disaster. I did not understand how I could be so bad at this. But clearly it's possible. All right. Switching over to our soldering hold with the thumb. This seemed to be the magic touch yesterday. I don't know if it's the level of heat that's more balanced. Or if it's more stability from having so much hand on the iron, but it seems to work for me. Okay, I'm going to stop at that point and start this one. I watched a couple of videos and realized that I did flux this, right? It doesn't look like I fluxed it. The difference between a fluxed and a non-flux is just ridiculous. How well it sticks when it's fluxed correctly. Got my stained glass grip. A little bit in there. See that difference? Oh my goodness. I think I need to add a little flux back over here. It's running a little flat, but that's all right. So I know people like to run one solid line. These are longer than what I'm used to doing, and it seems like if I get any closer to myself, it just goes bad. So I'm going to stop halfway on this. A little over halfway. And then flip it. Why not? Why am I fighting what works? We'll run it this way. Come on now. You come with me. Get a reflux that. I'm sure that's not good for it. Going over it while it's still hot like that, I can see it popping and smoking and all kinds of nastiness. But I'm hopeful I can pick it up. Now that I've got it, I put stained glass grip because we're not working a pencil here. I was just picking up everything that I had scattered all over. Just a lack of flux. Come on, this angle is not working for me. A little bit more out here. And this is a little bit more. Well, I'm mad at that. All right. We did just flux this, so hopefully it'll stay in orders. And I am all over the place right now. This angle is not agreeing. Move this up. It's a little bit light. I can see it's flat, so put that in there. Get it nice and warmed up. There we go. If it wants to just tin it and not pop up, that's fine. I go back over it once it's a bit of time to get to know each other. So this ain't so bad. And if it doesn't go this time, I'm just gonna let it sit. I don't want to heat it up too much. This is phenomenal. This is pretty good too. I come back over it, but I'm worried it's a little too hot right now. Give it a minute. Chill out. Actually, I'm gonna bolster this bad boy, unplug it for a minute. I gave up on those little itty bitty sponges and just grabbed a proper sponge. It seems to work better for me. I can actually grab it and run it, move it where I want it. I've got my soldering iron holder up here in the corner where it's consistently at. Good spot. Well, this might be a good sign for today. Got some good angles around here. This is the one I was so proud of yesterday, and this middle one is so much better. All right, we've got a little bit of burn through over here, some right there, a little bit more right there. It's not so bad though. But both of these. Put up here on the corners just so that it smooths out. And let's do this. Plug my iron in. Give it a minute. A couple seconds. Nice silver color still. You see that? I've not had a tin hold this well, so that's a good sign too. Got my stained glass grip. Let's see what I can do here. Going. Feed the top. Run down that chisel tip. It took me a lot of research to figure out what the hell I was doing wrong. And this is a spot where it wanted to run through, so I'm not going to push it. I'm going to let that sit and then come back. Wait, it doesn't get too hot and run back through the other way. I was watching in one of these guys. It was really good. he would literally go through and like run just a supporting run that was a little bit more than a 10, and then he would come back and do the he would call it the decorative, the rounded part. So if and I'm worried about the heat bleeding through, I can do it in layers. No point in fighting it and then losing. I guess a common problem is that the flux gets trapped in between these layers, and it will either oxidize, I believe you call it, the solder when it's done, or it will pop in smoke as it burns, because it burns so much lower temperature than the solder does. There we go. The stained glass grit makes a big difference. And I'm pushing myself. The other side, I did half, spun it, and then did the other half. This side, I'm really trying to run that whole consistent length. Eventually, when I get bigger pieces, I'm gonna have to run stuff this size, so I prefer to get good at it. Let's see. A little bit on the end. Try to be careful because it loves to bleed through there. Consistent bleed. More. Then down here. Yeah, I don't think I understood what flux was. That's a good bead. I can see a couple spots where it's not perfect, but not bad, dude. So I don't by accident. Try to get this little tip built up a little bit. And run it out. Yeah, with this angle, it's making it much easier to drag that excess. I also am realizing that while I'm up here, I'm using this finger to help guide the level, and when I get down here, it's open. That's why I think I'm having problems with the bottom part, because I've lost my guide. Okay, it goes flat here in a minute, so line that up, run it. There you go. Now I'm using the table as my guide. Oh no. I wiggled. I wiggled when I should have waggled. Yeah, right. This is fantastic. This, I just don't want to. The first part up here is great, but then this last part where I'm fighting down here is a little jiggly. Give it a second. Not even so much worried about cleaning my tip. I just don't want it to get too hot while I'm sitting here letting it cool off. It seems like there's plenty of flux, so we will sheet it up and try to use our guide to run a smooth, consistent line. Bubble there. It's just when I hit the edge, dude, I'm losing my my supports. Yeah, that bled through. I was going too fast, too hot. You can see the pool of it on the other side. It's alright. Let it cool off. You're not in that big a hurry. Yeah, I really like those lines. Still hot. See if I can't clean up this line from the other day. Should have hit it with some steel wool, but I don't have any, so that's not going to work. Not a pen. A little extra. Let's get that tip. Using my guide to slide this down. Wants to waggle there for some reason. I'll encourage it to follow the track though. We're really dicking with this because I want to give that other area some time to cool down. And it seems like stained glass, a lot of the time these guys jump from one to another to give it time to do exactly that. Cool down. Run. And this last part, when I lose my edge, is definitely the worst part. All right, let's see. I just flexed this, so let's go with the drop method. Build it up a little bit. We used a lot when I ran through. Turn it over. Turn it over. There we go. Those are better lines than I've had previously. Good. I would be okay with those. Here, put these different things. Try to clean off my surface here. Don't want to scratch it along there. All right, we got a couple hot spots, and this is where it bled through. I touch those up without burning it through the other side. We're learning flux is life. I do this a lot when I paint too. I use the pinky to stabilize and then guide it through. I'm just running out of boards, so maybe I need bigger boards. Got it fluxed. This thing is probably too hot. Sponge it to clean it off real quick. up here. It's going to run down. Stained glass grip. Set a run through spot. Let's not hang out there for too long. Oh, dude, I just lost my guide. That's exactly what's going on. I need a larger bench or area to work on. Drop. 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 Nope. Nobody wants that, buddy. Why are you tilting? I'm try to flux this and see if I can get it to go back. Give it a minute. That's a good one. It's still molten. I touch that with flux right now. It's just gonna pop and sizzle and be ugly. Let's look at the other side. Wipe. The holster. Maybe I'll tap some of that out. There we go. How's our other side look? It's fine. It's just this side. Okay. We got that spot and this spot that I want to clean up. And then I'll consider this a win. I got a light on that because that was a burn through spot. And this because I apparently didn't flex it enough for it dried up. Not sure. Go with this one first. Go back to stained glass grip. Speed this up. Yeah, I'm going to invest in some bigger boards so that I can use my pinky to guide me. Come on now. No, you're going this way, dude. I'm trying to hover above it so that it won't heat it up too much, pass it through. I think it's starting to, though. Oopsies. Get that other spot. Grab, set. Go from that ripple. And once you get this down, you can start to feel when you don't have enough flux. It just stops doing what you want it to do. It's pretty crazy. We practice edging on this a little bit before we move on with our life. Ooh. Let me flux these edges. And we'll run them. Once again, stained glass grip. Man, it's so easy to fall back on silliness. Years of using a paintbrush. Closest analogy I had was always tell when you go golfing with a baseball player because they swing a certain way. And it's not a golf swing. Not that I'm a golfer. Okay, we got that side done. Just a minute. Flip it over. More flux. This folded over. You can't fold it down. Forget that this is just like copper with a little bit of backing until it's soldered in place. Oh, wires. Maybe those years of using Nintendo as a kid will pay off with understanding how to use wires. Like, y'all don't understand the struggle. Nowadays, everything's wireless. I spend 15 minutes undoing wires. Before I can even play Mario. There. I think I had decided yesterday that I was going to go through a 10 the top before I even tried putting a beat on this. Just for the sake of having something to grab onto. Give ourselves a little bit of this so we can grab. So there's new territory here. I got so excited, I almost forgot to flex it. One side at a time. You heard it. I said it. Hopefully we'll listen to ourselves. Just tinning. That side. Flux. Probably flux this side too. Grab a little dot. Stick with our stained glass grip. See a piece of copper sticking through there. A little dot. Flux this side. And last side. Flux. Dabba-doo. Okay, we got it tinned. I mean, this was the coolest side. That's where we started. reflux it, then I'm going to go through and just dot. If I had something to hold this upright, it's differently. Grabbing and plopping. Why don't I move this so that it's, sorry, the solder so it's down here so I can keep you guys at the angle and hopefully keep you in the picture. Yep, that works. Get this little crane over so I can grab it. See how this does. A little weird setup. Little grab. Little dot. Grab. Dot. Grab. Dot. I said I was going to turn down the temperature when I was doing this. Maybe I should. Yep. Okay, we were at 410. I'm going to kick us down to 360. Should help slow down the pace of this stuff. I'm working against gravity now instead of it being my friend. Might be too low, but this is how I'm going to learn. Stop. Ooh, that got me. This is slower coming off for sure. That part's too hot. Let's see how this works. Put a dot there where it connects. Doing the hated paintbrush stroke method. I am losing dots. It's fine. If I'm also smoothing everything out. Seems like where these joints come together is where I need more solder than most. I have to set this down and readjust my flux. Solder, sorry. Ooh, that would have gotten good, dude. Thank goodness I'm wearing gloves. A big drop of solder just landed on top of my thumb. All right. That's the best one I've done thus far. Set this down. After that, I'm actually going to run through my first roll of solder. Nice. I think I'm going this way. I'm going to bend this up and then crane it over. I'm like right at the end of this. That's pretty cool. Well, it wasn't until it started falling apart. It's my first wheel. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet, but there will be things. So we can make a little swan. Maybe more like a little slithering snake. Oh, what in the name of slithering? Okay, let's move our Draco Malfoy over this way. We've got some flux already on here. Good thing I ordered some more solder. I always... Oh, there goes another one. I'd be at the hospital with my knuckles exposed if I hadn't put on these gloves. Building up an edge here. Slowly but surely. I think if I get this one done, it'll leave the other two for later and take a little break, get something to eat, and then come back and start on that abstract piece. That way my recordings are separated. I'm wondering if this bead method, because my beads are not exceptionally large, if just running those beads underneath and then being able to connect them, but it looks like the other ones are cooled off, so they need to be warmed up a little bit. Drop it. This is something I need to get better at. Something I am getting better at, in all honesty. I didn't even flinch that time. Starting to trust my gear. Well, it's not gorgeous, but it's better than I've ever done before. I'm also getting better at picking up pieces. And setting them where I want them. think turning it down the temperature may have helped. But yeah, this thing just needs to be cleaned up. All right. It's not bad. It's not great, but starting to get there. Clean up my mess and go get some lunch and whatnot. So really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate getting to watch this and see as I get better. My little Salazar Slytherin freaking mount. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna take a break and then I'll be back on in probably an hour. Thanks again.